us a call, 877-850-8585, 877-850-8585.
So let's go back to the phone. Sam in Tampa Bay. How are you, Sam?
Hey, Sam.
Yes, Eric, I think you touched base on this, about this new law. I have an investment of a motel condo. It's a 12-unit complex. One building is one story, and the other is two stories. Am I correct that they're exempt on this new law? And how can you share with us that our board continues to always have special assessments because they don't have reserves?
Okay.
How do we force the reserves?
This is interesting.
I'd like to hear from
The good
you.
one.
Great question. So bottom line, if it's a one-story or two-story condominium, none of this applies to you. You don't have to do the milestone inspections, right? You don't have to do the reserve study inspections, but you're saying this board reacts with special assessments rather than having reserves. So what does the statute say if you're a condo, even if you're a condo hotel? The statute says that when your board sends out the budget each year, we must show the budget with fully funded reserves. They must, right? Now, they can give the board, the unit owners, a choice to have something less than fully funded reserves. They can say, okay, here's budget A with fully funded. Here's budget B with partially funded. Here's budget C with no reserves at all. So a majority of a quorum, right? So I don't know what a quorum is. A quorum with there's 12 units. So a quorum might be 4 units, right? So a majority of a quorum would have to vote for less than fully funded reserves. But if they don't get that vote, right, bottom line is, you know, if 7 people there want fully funded reserves instead of all these special assessments, fully funded reserves it shall be, period. So the bottom line is to rally the troops, and when they send out the budget, tell everybody, no, we want fully funded reserves. Let's go with budget A. And if not, then get a new board in there that's actually going to fund the reserves. But because you're under 3 stories, you're still going to have the right to waive the full funding of reserves? Yes, you will. And, you know, that's obviously problematic to you, but that's the state of the law. Okay, Sam?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
All right, I wish you a lot of luck. Motel and hotel condominiums, you know, I can tell you one thing. People buy them as investments and leave them with the front desk to rent them out for you. That there's more litigation over condo hotels than any other condo problems. Yeah, because there's just always hanky-panky going on. You know, you leave your unit with the people at the front desk, and you live out of state, and you say, okay, rent it for me and just send me the money, and you keep half the money, and then you wind up hearing, oh, we weren't able to rent it for you. Well, how come I just called my own unit and someone picked up the phone? Right? I mean, this is just stuff that I'm dealing with for 30 years. This type of stuff goes on. Condo hotels are a really tough investment. Can't say that I would ever get into. How about we go to Donata in Miami?
Hi, Donata.
Donata, how are you?
Eric.
Good
Hi,
morning.
How are you?
How you doing?
I'm fine.
Good. Glad to hear your voice.
Me too. Thank you for answering my question. Let me ask you this: the board has to post the meetings, right? Board meetings, right?
Right.
They have to maintain the board meetings for 7 years. What if the board never holds meetings and DDPR, after complaints, does nothing?
Well, so let's talk about that. What meetings is your board required to hold? You ready? And most people don't know this, and most people are absolutely can't believe it. But you know what the statute says in terms of holding meetings? Your board is required to hold 2 meetings a year. You ready? And the first one really isn't a board meeting. It's a unit owners meeting, but they must make arrangements for your annual meeting, right? Which is once a year. And what else? The only other meeting that the board has to have, the budget meeting. Under the law in the state of Florida, your board is required to have, again, 2 meetings, the annual meeting and the budget meeting. If they never hold another meeting the entire year, they are not violating the law. Now, that being said, if contracts are being signed, vendors are being changed, things are being done, that business is taking place, then that they're doing is obviously acting outside the view of the community. And they're obviously voting to do things by email, or they're voting to do things without properly noticing meetings.
In the pool.
Yeah, I mean, and that is against the law. So, even though they're required only to hold these 2 meetings, the truth is if it's even a small building, that a board has to make constant decisions upon who to pay and how much and who to hire and who to fire. And all those meetings need to be done at a properly noticed board meeting. So if you see things are getting done and new vendors are being hired or fired or whatever it may be, yes, you can file actually an arbitration complaint. And you can say that the board is failing to hold meetings and are making decisions outside of the required 48-hour notice of meetings and outside of posting and allowing unit owners to attend and be heard. And that is a winning argument, okay? So...
Well, we don't have elections for 3 years.
Well, you're in a condo, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So the law in the state of Florida when it comes to condos is you can have staggered terms, right? But no staggered term can be more than 2 years. So when you tell me you haven't had an election in 3 years, I know that something is wrong in your condominium.
And the board's illegitimate?
Absolutely. Because at a minimum, the most a board member can serve is a 2-year term. And you're telling me no elections in 3 years? That's a problem. Okay? So that's something we got to look into, Donata.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you got it.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Eric.
Thank you. Okay, how about we go to Steve in Boca? How are you, Steve?
Yeah, hi. Enjoy the show. I know you only got a few minutes left.
Sure.
To ask a question. I'm a homeowner. I'm concerned about the home insurance company ratings, which may be lowered by Dynatek, and the following effect that could have. I just wanted your thoughts.
I'm sorry, you're talking about the ratings of the insurance companies that are about to come out?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Oh, let's kind of give everybody an update on where we're at. So
and the insurance companies that are left.
Yeah, right. Okay, so many of you who live in a condominium are in absolute sticker shock over the new rates that your insurance company is charging you. And why is this happening? It's happening because the number of insurance companies that actually provide coverage in the state of Florida for your home, your condo, is dwindling. There are almost none left. I was with the same company for years. Last month I get a letter. You're dropped. Goodbye.
Whoa.
Right? And the only one that will take me, Citizens, which is the state-run, state-backed insurer.
And they're dumping people, too.
And they're dumping people, too. I mean, you have no idea. So Steve is worried because we have a couple of insurance companies left, and insurance companies get rated, and they're rated by some company that's out of state. And the ratings that they're about to give Florida insurance companies, instead of being noted as exceptional or well-funded or don't worry about, things like don't worry about it, 5-star type of things. And Steve, you can tell me how I'm wrong. If you can correct me if I'm wrong on this. Instead of getting top ratings, their ratings are dropping. And as a result of the ratings dropping, the rates for homeowners are going to fly up as well. There's going to be more insurance companies that are closing. And I think, someone may correct me if I'm wrong at that, I think we're down to only about 7. I want you to think about that for a minute. Think of how many condos and homes need insurance in the state of Florida. And we're talking about...
They said there's 29 companies left, and there's 17 that they're looking at lowering.
There's 17 looking at lowering the ratings. So that's going to leave us with, potential. And if those ratings go down, these insurance companies may go out.
What a mess.
So we're talking about, okay, I said 7. It might wind up with, a dozen companies. That's it.
Yeah.
Servicing the entire state of Florida. And I don't have to tell everybody, when there's a lack of competition,
Yep, prices
right?
go.
Prices go through the roof. I can tell you that for several of my clients, many, like everyone you talk to, quite frankly, big buildings, a typical condo building, 100, 200 units, something like that. Premiums have gone, let's say, from $80,000, $85,000 a year to $250,000 a year. They have tripled in certain circumstances overnight. And, when you add this into, think of everything we spoke about on the show this morning, and we didn't even touch on insurance. Add the tripling or quadrupling of insurance, add it to the milestone inspection part 1, the cost of that. Add it to the cost of the milestone inspection part 2.
Reserves.
Add it to the cost of the repairs that are going to be necessary as a result of the milestone inspection. Just like you said, add it to the cost of fully funded reserves. Add it to the cost of hiring all these architects or engineers.
Nope.
And again, insurance is like that. That's the cherry on the cake at this point. And it is just an absolutely scary, scary outlook for the state of Florida right now.
45 seconds.
For those who live in a condo. And like I said, just buckle up, because it's going to be a real bumpy ride going forward. Just got that whisper in my ear that it is time to go. The show goes so fast.
It does go so
Guys,
fast.
if you need legal help during the week, give Glazer and Sachs a call, 954-983-1112. Again, 954-983-1112. I wish everybody a happy, healthy, successful week ahead, and we'll see you again next Sunday on Condo, Craze, and HOAs. Be
Thanks,
well,
Eric.
everyone.